Good afternoon, peeps. It's the Drunken One. Okay, so I am out here in a little area that I kind of made special. I'm making special for my mom. My mom is passed. She was into cactus and things like this. These are called century plants, as best I know. Pardon my voice. So I'm gonna tidy up the place a little bit and get rid of the leaves, so it's not so overwhelmed with the weeds. I have planted some aloe vera out here once upon a time, and I'll be darned if I can find it anymore. I'm gonna spruce up this area. There's an old bench that I found the ends to, and then with the cheapest, poorest wood ever, because I don't ever plan to have anybody actually use it. There's actually old pallets, and I kind of stuck it together to have that rustic look. And Mom was a smoker, and so I went ahead and stuck an ashtray over there. What I'm going to do today, well, one of the things I'm going to do today is I'm going to fix this up a little bit. This is an old tub, or I guess it was a plastic 55-gallon drum that was here when we moved here. This place was overwhelmed with a bunch of vegetation and stuff. That's when I learned that things that have bulbs are supposed to be there. And so I tore out a bunch of plants that were in here. The guys in the back, quote me or pardon me if I'm wrong, and put in the comments any different. When those get going, they climb everywhere. You can see some old pieces from last year. I want to say that they're baby's breath. They have a bunch of little white flowers, and they're very delicate and such. So those will come back around, I'm seeing. And you can see some new growth maybe. You can see in there. Anyway, I'm going to clean this up. I did plant some aloe vera that's underneath those pine needles and stuff. And I did plant some aloe vera in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a bit deeper with some of my old composted dirt that I do my seed starting with. And probably rake up around here and we'll get a look at it. But for sure I'm going to work on this and get this deeper, and I'm going to plant some marigolds because Mom loved marigolds. We always had marigolds around the house. And then I'll show you later as how to seed them when they get done with their beautiful flowers. And we'll go from there. I have a water source fairly close, although there's no water in this exact area, no soak irrigation or whatever. There might be at some point. And so I'm going to do something with that big plant thing there. It makes flowers too. Actually, we have some pretty cool flowers in here. There's ones that are, they look, I think they call them fireworks. They actually pop up a lot on their own, and these guys here, I'm not sure what to think of those. I just mow around them and let them keep trucking. That's where my sink drains out, so I don't want to put anything too fancy down there because I have OxyClean and stuff I run through that sink. I've got some aloe vera here that needs to be replanted because it's way overgrown. It's chingadera. Got the pine needles and stuff mostly out. I'm not going to stress about the rest of it. It's all natural anyway. Looks like my aloe vera was kind of trying to unroot itself or something. I didn't pull them up. And see all these little purple, red or whatever the hell they are. Those are those vines that, like I said, I think they are the baby's breath. It's okay. There's just a little quick one right there, and I'm going to fill it in some, and we'll organize it. Hopefully, I can get the aloe vera a little higher up because they're awfully low down. They're low down and dirty. Okay. Alright, so got her filled in some. I actually a little bit buried some of those aloe vera, but I think they'll be alright. Here's the marigolds I'm going to be putting in there. These guys there, and another one there. And then I did some wildflowers, like out in the back. If y'all been watching the channel, you know what I've done. Anyways, and so I'm gonna put those in there, and I will be back for the grand finale, what do we call it, the reveal, and I'll show you my secret ingredient. Alright, and for the secret ingredient, I know y'all have seen this in my videos. This is a worm bed. Yeah, so you guessed it, I'm putting worms in there, guys. So check this out, see if I can. I've already sifted through some this morning. And what I've done is separate the worms from the dirt as best I could. The dirt, which is called vermicomposting, is the whole method what I'm doing here. Vermicomposting is to get the worm casings. Worm casings are very, very good for the soil. So I sifted out a bit of it. You see how deep it is. Sifted out to about here, about where that dot's at. And the thing is, you gotta feed them a lot. And the more they are, the more you gotta feed. And I just don't have that much green stuff for them to eat. These guys are not your normal everyday fishing worms. These guys, if I can find one, these guys are called red wigglers. I don't know if I've ever mentioned them to you or not. He's not wiggling, is he? I don't think he's realized he's out of the soil. Anyway, let me show you what I got going. They don't get very big, and so they're really no good for fishing. Maybe I'll pick up the same one twice. Anyway, let's go out here. Show you what I got, and that's what we're gonna put in the little flower bed. Okay, I'm a home brewer and a gardener, a vegetable gardener. I'm colorblind a little bit with greens and reds, and I don't know much about flowers. This is like wildflowers, the little one. I know what the marigolds are, obviously. The other ones are wildflowers. They come in a pack saying wildflowers, so they're about as clueless as I am. But there's several different kinds, so I don't know who's going to be taller or shorter or whatever. But this is what I come up with, and so I'm going to put the worms in there, and I'll show you the worms here in just a second. But I need to make sure that there's holes in the bottom because the worms can't swim. They don't swim so good. So let me grab a little stool over here, and I don't know how I'm going to do this with one hand really, but I'll do this. Watch this. Hey. Got the little old stool, and we got a little bucket of worms. Now you don't see them in there right away. I'm just gonna like pour them in here. I got like flowers, stuff's everywhere, so I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do this. Anyway, then I'll just do it by hand, left-handed. That way I can hold the camera with direct. Hey, so the worms, they want to be where it's nice and cool, so they're gonna be mostly toward the bottom. I guess I'll just sift it out into something. There's nothing right there. Okay, here we're getting down to some. Let me grab a handful and show you. They're quite lively and they're quite happy. And they're just a little slimy, which is cool too. I don't know if you can make them out. I really should have got a tripod. Here, let me try this. See, and that was just out of that little bit. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm showing you. Just a handful of worms, obviously. And these guys, like I said, they're super composters. They're ferocious eaters. They love eating stuff. So I'm gonna put. They feel funny on my hands. I'm gonna put some in here and probably take some out to the garden. But you see that they're red wigglers. I've had them for a couple of 3 years, and I think it was like a pound of them maybe, and there was a slew of them. I didn't go to get them. My wife and kids went to go get them, and the way the guy does it is he's got like troughs, and he feeds them in these troughs, and he keeps them wet with carpet over the top of the soil, and just keeps the soil damp. Now, when he goes to harvest these guys, he takes the carpet off and turns on a strong light. The light is first bright and second generates heat, and so they go down into the soil deeper, down further into the bottom of the trough. And maybe I could have taken me out in the sunlight, probably been better. It's kind of overcast today. Anyway, and so then he would just sift off so I was told he just sifts off the dry dirt, soil, and then gets down to where there's more of the worms, and they like to stick together. The weird thing about these guys is they have to be in a community. They need to have, I want to say it's 30, to where they feel like, hey, I'm cool, I'm part of a community, and then they'll do what they do. I don't know the numbers on them. Hopefully you're getting some angles on that. Well, the camera's doing it justice, but anyway, so I'm gonna release some of these guys in here and let them aerate the soil. They're gonna make holes in the soil to where the water can make it through. So I'm just gonna kind of, there's quite a few of them right there. Look, you can see them. Those are my little wormies. Like I said, I've had them for years, so it doesn't hurt to take several out, because the more you take out, the less you have to feed in there. I can't generate that much compost to be able to keep them happy and fed. So anyway, putting some in here, guys. Yeah, I'll shoot an opener for this. There's quite a bit of them clumped up together. If you're squeamish of worms, then you couldn't do this. No, they don't bite, and they're quiet. Anyway, so they'll figure it out. They will find their way. I don't know if you can see what I'm showing you. Just Mess of worms, huh? And they'll find their way. They don't want to be up in the sunlight. They'll take off and take their way into the soil. But again, like I said, I need to make sure that there is dirt in here, or dirt. If there's holes in here, so that they can they don't drown. That one's caught in the plant, but he'll make his way out. I'll probably hurt him trying to get him out of there. He'll make his way. I'll make sure of that. Okay, guys, I guess that's it. I will shoot an intro for this later. I don't have a tripod or anything out here, so I just wanted to show you what I was up to today. Hopefully it flicks all right, and Mom would be proud. This is Mom's little corner I kind of set up for her, like I said. This is her old wind chimes that she had a long time ago. They're made out of copper tubes, and you probably can't see what I'm showing you. Anyway, the wind chimes, I painted it up when we first moved out here. Nice little spot in the corner. When the wind blows, you can hear the wind chimes. But that's what it's about. I know my brew guys are going to tease me. He's planting flowers. He's using his mash paddle to stir for worms. All right, guys, I will catch up with you later.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Arrgh.